Oh, I got it in my back and I can't reach it. I got an itch on my back and cannot reach it. His birthday. Old, old. Well, they got a nice new fence up. Their fence got done. Looks good. I don't like the straight edges on top, though. They should have scalloped them. Or had scalloped boards. Don't you think? Mr. Bread, hello, hello. Dear X-Rat, what's going on? Good morning to you. Hey, DeBossway. Happy birthday. Thank you, DeBossway. Let me get you your blue jacket. There we go. This boy loves fence lines. There must be oh, I see a rabbit on the other side of the fence. I can see it through the fence. He can smell it. Come on, Toby. Wild boy this morning. Thank you for the happy birthday. Come on, little Toby dog. He's not so little. He's big Toby dog. We made it to the river. How's everybody's morning? How is your morning? We just kind of got up. I rolled out of bed, and for some reason I just managed to get dressed. Usually I roll out of bed, and then I lay back down. Today it didn't take any effort to get dressed and get out. Did you do anything fancy for your birthday? I am up doing well. I'm up early today and went back to bed. That's how I normally do. I get up. My alarm was set 5 for a long time, and I'd wake up and go back to bed. So I finally canceled that out last week. Heck with that 5 a.m. I got to do some cleanup work here. Toby just did his business. So it's clean up aisle 5. Oops. Okay. Hey, come. 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 Come on. Sooner or later, you gotta start obeying commands. Sooner or later. Hold on, hold tight, fam. I gotta pick up some dog mess. And I know there's a trash can right here we can dump it in. And then we can get the other one out of our pocket too. He's already gone once before. Hey, come here. He don't listen. He's just constantly pulling against me. Okay, come here. Oops. One bag down. Wait. Let me get this other bag out of my pocket. Yuck. Pocket full of poo. I got a pocket full of poo. This is how I put it in my pocket though. I use these freezer bags, Ziplocs, to put it in to keep my pocket stinking. There we go. There we go. Like I was asking, how is everybody's good morning? Did you do anything fancy for your birthday? Asked the boss. I went to with my oldest son and the two grandsons. I went to breakfast. They took me to breakfast. We were supposed to go fishing, but there's this. We've got smoke from the Canadian forest fires here, And my kids, they didn't want their kids they didn't want the kids out in the smoky air. You could smell it yesterday. It's pretty much gone today. Oh, look at that sun. Look at the sun breaking through. It's pretty much gone today. So we didn't go fishing. We just did breakfast. Then I hung out with Toby the rest of the day, and then I went and had dinner with my mother. We went to Texas Roadhouse for the big 20-ounce bone-in rib steak. Oh my goodness, I was in pig heaven. It was the rib steak, a salad. I even took a chance on a salad since they already named Taco Bell. And I asked the waitress about the salad. They said that they actually cut the heads of lettuce up and the tomato. They cut all the vegetables up every morning, so it's all fresh. It's not the bagged, already pre-shredded stuff from Mexico. So I took a chance on a salad. Hopefully I didn't make a mistake. But the big old giant baked sweet potato and some green beans. The green beans are pretty good. They got bacon in them. Bacon and peanuts, like down south. I like bacon in the green beans. Isn't that good? And then today, Mom and I are going to watch a movie at the theater. It's been a while since I've been to the theater, but I got there was free tickets on Facebook for. We got a log. Somebody dropped a log and it got trapped, huh? Oh, the whole tree's under here. The whole tree's under here. They're gonna have to come clean this out. That's a danger to boating. Just think if you were pulling in here with your boat, you'd be pulling in here to tie off. You'd get the rude awakening. Oh, look, you couldn't tie off up here at all. We're gonna go see Young Washington, that George Washington story from when he first joined up with the Continental Army or whatever it was called here in the USA. USA. That's gonna be good. Rest and reset is always good. Yes, it is. Hey, Nate, good morning to you. We are excellent. How are you today, Nate? You did not see that often at all. Kudos to you cleaning up after your baby. Oh, yeah, I always pick up after this boy. He makes a mess. I don't want people leaving that in my yard, so I clean up after him. Yep, it's gonna be a great movie. All the reviews are saying it's spectacular and all that kind of stuff. Excellent and all that. I can't wait to see it. I like history, and I like U.S. history, even though they don't ever tell you the truth, or they hide it for 20 years, 30 years. Come on. I know I let Toby pee on everything. As long as he spits out show babies, as long as he makes some show babies someday, he can do what he wants. He hasn't done it yet. Live stream just died on my phone. That's crazy. David D, what's going on? Talk Beyond. Hey, good morning. Yoga with Goga. Good morning to you, sir. Lux Jackson, welcome. Oh, send us a star. Thank you. How was your special dinner with family? Asked Goga. Oh, it was great. I had this great big giant 20-ounce bone-in rib steak, Goga. It was half the size of the plate and like that thick. Medium rare. It was so juicy. It was like, oh, it was so juicy. Happy birthday. Thank you, Yoga with Goga. I need to catch up on Jason Stratham. Oh, I missed some of these chats already. It's like 61 or 62 degrees out. It's not bad at all. Yesterday morning it was 10 degrees. It was 10 degrees warmer yesterday morning. I'm lost in the chat here. Sorry about that, fam. David, hi, I'm from Southampton, UK. Very cool. Denzel Washington's here, says, hi, Lassie. Come here, Toby. Oh, I don't have a treat. I don't know if he'll do it. Toby does what Toby wants to do most of the time. Sit. Sit, Bubba. Let's see if we can get a Lassie pose out of him. Sit. Good boy. Sit up. Can I get a high five? Can I get a sit pretty? Come on, sit pretty. Sit pretty. Can I get a sit pretty? Look what I got. Sit pretty. Sit pretty. Yay, good boy. I put the fakie to him. I put my hand in the pocket. Did you guys see his little sit pretty there? It was quick. He sits up on his haunches and puts his paw in the air. They call that the Lassie pose. The Lassie pose. Denzel says, hi, Lassie. Juicy is good for a birthday treat. Oh, that meat, the steak was so good. Oh, it was unreal. I only ate about a third of it. It was that big with all the sides. The only thing about that restaurant is they play the music loud. Other than that, it's good. And I told Mom, whatever you do not tell them it's my birthday. She said, what? I was gonna ask him right off the bat, do you do anything special? I said, yeah, they bring you a dessert, and I don't need dessert because I was gonna drink a soda pop. That's enough sugar for me. So, and then they come and they sing and they dance. There'll be a dozen of them. There'll be a dozen of the waitresses and bartender people. They come and stand around your table and stomp and dance and sing a song. And I don't want to deal with that. I just wanted to eat. Look at the ducks. Pretty cool. I don't think dogs should be allowed in the suburbs or city, says ethics over faith. I know it's an unpopular idea, but dogs belong in the wilderness. Ethics over faith. Ethics over faith. That's a nice name. That's a nice name. I like that. Shelly Jeffs, what's going on? High five for me in New Zealand. Welcome back, welcome back. I hope you had a great birthday. Yeah, it was pretty good. What did we do? What did we do after that? I dropped Mom off. Oh, I went home. I played laser tag with Toby, with the little cat laser. Well, the cat played too. I've never seen Toby play so long with the laser. It was like over 20 minutes. Back and forth through the house, round and round. He'd lose sight of it, and then the cat would catch sight of it. The cat's fast. That little cat can run. One end of the house to the other. Holy smokes, like a blur. But we did that. And then I think I watched a couple of movies. I don't know what. Oh, there's a series on Netflix called The Last Ship. Apocalyptic virus America. Oh, world anyway. It's a good series. If you guys got the Netflix, check it out. It's believable. Not something hokey. Yeah, everything was really good. It was a really good day. That's a different David. Dave D will be back. I trust Dave D will be back. We had good conversation after he came in, spouting off. I believe he'll be back. He came in giving us a hard time, but by the end he said goodbye. I'm trying to look to see if there's any people or dogs coming and we can let Toby off leash for a little bit. Here, come here. Okay. Run. There we go. I don't see anybody coming. There's nobody behind us. We already walked south through this park. We'll walk north through the park. We'll go downtown. Take a nice long walk today. Try to go for the 2-hour ordeal with Toby. As long as my toes don't get wet and I'm walking in the grass. Southampton, UK. I don't watch paid telly. I'm getting ready to drop the cable, to tell you the truth. I'm going to keep my Netflix. I like Netflix. But I'm getting ready to cut the cable. I'm going to keep the cable internet, though, because nothing works like internet cable. Internet cable is the strongest, fastest, hardest, whatever you want to call it, biggest, baddest dude in the room. I've had Wi-Fi cable before. You know, we got this Wi-Fi cable on our phones, blah, blah. He's going to be full of stickers. Look at him. He's going to be full of stickers. Up, 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 up. On. On. He don't listen. I'm telling him to get on the log. He's worked on these logs before. On. No? Going to look under, pee on it. Come on. Yeah, I'm going to cut that cable. It'll be the first time. Well, when I lived with Dad, I don't know, we always had cable even living with Dad. Now I see somebody walking like a jogger coming. When we lived with Dad, we always lived in the military housing, and it was always set up for cable. They always had cable, but it'll be first time in my whole life that I didn't have cable TV. Hold on, Toby. Let's hook you back up. Somebody's coming. But gotta cut that cable. It's so dang expensive. That and the landline cell phone or landline phone. My landline phone's like $80 a month. Who was living with? Hey, Helen, what's going on? Barbara Mathers, welcome back. What time is it over here? 7:11 a.m. Buddy, what are you doing? Hey, I can't pronounce it. Vanch Singh, welcome, buddy. Where are you going? We're headed to the south end of town. I'm sorry, to the north end of town. We're just out for a dog walk. Yeah, it is 4:11. Barbara Mather says 11:11 Sunday night, says Shelly Jeffs. You're on the other future people from the future. What are you thinking? Don't jump. Yesterday would have been the day to go to the beach. We put it off a day because we were going to breakfast and dinner. And it was I think it was in upper 80s yesterday, after being 90s and 100 all week. Today we're gonna be lucky if we get to 80 degrees. So no beach day today. Oh, the tips of the shoes are getting wet, Tobe. Oh, how'd you like to end up like that? How'd you like to end up like that? Leave it? That looked like a fish bones out of a cartoon. It's funny. Come on, Tobe, we got to get out of the grass, man. I'm getting wet feet. I know. That was the idea, was to let you run through the grass, but now people showed up. Now there's peoples. What's your daily routine? Did you shower before the live Why would I shower before I come out here and sweat? I rolled out of bed. I did put on clean underwear and socks and a t-shirt. And we just got going. We just got going. What a question. We didn't eat nothing. I drank some water, brushed my teeth. I didn't brush Toby's teeth, though. We'll wait till after he eats. Most important question, Vanish. Did you shower this morning? The daily routine. Wake up, manage to get my shoes on and walk this dog for an hour. Go home, feed the dog, feed the cat, get cleaned up, get to work. Work all day. Garden, all that good stuff. Every couple hours I go outside and check my garden, because you never know, there may be a plant in distress. Don't want that to happen. I've gone out there and seen a cucumber plant wilting, or a zucchini plant wilting. You got to hit them with some extra water that day. The only day I don't do anything. Hey, Clara. Welcome, welcome. Lucky 1337. Are you familiar with a man named P. Diddy? No, never heard of him. Only in the news. That's funny. Only in the news. Is he a friend of yours? Is he a friend of yours, Lucky? Do y'all hang and all that? Ideals. What's going on? Howdy, everyone, says Ideals. Isaac Eaglebear, Alvarado. I know P didn't. I know P isn't anymore. Isn't he? He's locked up, isn't he? Beautiful Park, says Diana D. Toby signed the arrest warrant for P. Diddy. There it is. Hey, 3-2. 3, you get your jacket today, 3. Let me hand it out. Hold on. Hold on. There you go, 3. Test it out. Test it out. We know 3. Barbara Mather says my sister's coming soon. Yeah, it's a nice park. Nice park. This was all industrial land for decades and decades and decades and decades. And when they wanted less traffic, they wanted less opening and closing of the drawbridges, because there's 4 of them. And they figured less traffic this far upriver, so they traded land with several companies for land further upriver towards the mouth of the river. And the city got all this industrial brown, what do they call it? Brownlands, where they refurbished everything, you know. They got rid of all the contaminants and took all the old buildings out, removed everything. And now there's condos, there's this park, there's another park on the other side. It's pretty nice. It's just what it should have been. It should have been a boardwalk here with a river walk and all kinds of big mansions lining the river. Instead, they piled up sand and built ships. You know what I mean? This was there was industrial brown hoist was here. They built cranes, and then there was a sand and gravel docks. But they moved all that stuff. We got lucky. That's like the little island out there in the middle of the picture. It goes back towards the south for quite a ways, and that should have been like a little Manhattan Island or something. You know what I mean? But no, they put dump on there. They're not that smart. Politicians. There's a park at this end. We go there every once in a while. You'll see us over there. It was completely cleaned and nature came back. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Would have never got to walk here before. Same thing with the other side of the river. There was a park on both sides of that bridge in the middle of the picture. There was baseball diamonds on one side and park on the other. and it was all industrial coming all the way up the river, along industrial owned along the river. There was a couple of shipyards over there, and I don't know what else. Old shipyards from like World War II era and prior. They built wood sailing ships here too, I believe. Anyhow, that's all parked on the other side of the river too now. They bought it all up. The city, I don't know if they bought it, if it was donated, or lost to taxes or whatever. Where are we? We're 100 miles north of Detroit. North of Detroit, Michigan, in USA, in a little town. This is the Saginaw River. It's huge. This is like one of the only rivers in the world that flows both ways. Sometimes it flows north, sometimes it flows south. It depends on... That's trash, Toby. It depends on the winds. When we get east winds or north winds, northeast winds, the water from Lake Huron piles up in the bay, and it pushes the water backwards, and the water will flow back. You can actually see it when it's going backwards. Are you in New York State or Jersey? Nope, it doesn't look like Florida. Michigan. Yeah, it's not Florida. No, sir. No, ma'am. Hey, Seti. Seti, you get your blue jacket today, too. Look at you. Add as moderator. Standard mod. There we go. You know, I give everybody their mods. You don't have to police nothing. I'll take care of trolls or anything bad. But I give you the mod so you can connect with everybody else in the chat. You're probably mod somewhere else. You tap the three dots to the right of their name across the screen. And you can go right to their channel and check it out and connect. And then come back. Always come back. Ha ha ha. Always come back. And Tobes, what'd you find to eat? The other day I come through here, there was a pile of brush here, and the grass was high. You could see where they just cut it, where it was high. And there was a guy sleeping here with next to a wheelchair. I hope he was asleep, because we passed on by. I didn't bother him. We found a guy sleeping in the park, about the middle of the park, and closer to the other end, down that way, which way we're pointing, down that way. He was sleeping behind one of the pine trees underneath it. I didn't know it was he or she. But it was wrapped, the person was wrapped up tight in a blanket or a sleeping bag. I mean, like wrapped up body tight, like you see on TV when the mobsters are chucking bodies. Wrapped up like that, and I walked up and said, "Hey, you okay? You okay? You okay?" Finally, they said, "Yeah," and it was a dude. I think it was a dude's voice anyway. But it was like, oh man, I didn't want to walk up on no dead body, but when you see something like that, you got to check, right? Yes, Michigan is a beautiful state. Florida palm trees only. Maybe in the future, but I don't think so. I love the snow. I love the snow. I love pine trees. I love cold nights, cold mornings. Don't go down there, Tobe. I love the snow. Toby loves the snow too. He's too hairy to live in Florida. He'd have to have a full body shave every day. When he's done with the show dog ring, then I'll cut his hair every year. He won't need all that hair to be looking pretty. He just look pretty. He got his hair cut down a year ago. Was it a year ago? About a year ago. He got his hair cut right down, and it grew back really nice. It was looking, he was looking really good before. Don't get me wrong, but it grew. We were worried about if it was going to grow back, how long it was going to take to get his bib and his underbelly hair back. It come back pretty quick, and he's a good-looking dog. Uh-oh, Victor, say it isn't so. You know, the dogs, they never apologize. Look at Toby. Look at Toby not even chasing the birds. Not even chasing them birds. Did you see that? He just wanted to give him a little kiss. Were you going to kiss the birds? Were you going to kiss the birds? Unfortunately or fortunately, we don't have a lot of places where it snows in winter. Oh, it snows here everywhere. What is this? Life is beautiful. Let's stop and take a look. We'll listen to the honkers honking away. Hey, Queen Selection. Let me tie Toby up a second and we'll zoom in. We'll catch these birds landing. Look at that, National Geographic. Look at that. We play National Geographic here today. Today we should have been on a horizontal, Tobe. Can I go to the UP and open up a week? Yeah, you could do whatever you want. I think the licenses are expensive though. Except they got, you know what they do? Is if you got like prior weed convictions or you're a member of a minority group or something, I think you get preferential treatment. I remember the last thing I heard about, this was probably a couple of years ago, was that they were looking for people that had been in trouble before with the law over marijuana to develop into marijuana business owners. Isn't that crazy? They do crazy stuff here in Michigan. Where am I from? Originally, we're from Texas. Toby's from Illinois. Toby Dog. Toby Dog's from Northwest Illinois. But he's got grandparents from all over the world. He's even got some Australian grandparents from Nairof or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. Nairo Kennels in Australia. They got a lot of beautiful dogs. I follow them on the faceplant. I hope Toby not a Bears fan. Heck no. Toby's with the Lions. Toby's a Lions fan, even though we don't watch it. We're Lions fans just because we live here. Those were the last pro football game I ever been to was Lions. Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings. I had a buddy back in the early 2000s that his brother was some bigwig at a corporation, and they got sports tickets all the time. His brother was in charge of handing out the sports tickets to the clients and all that, and he gave his brother tickets all the time. And his brother took me, and we would go to the Tigers, the Lions, Red Wings, Pistons. Rest in peace, Randy. They called him Uncle Randy. He was a wild guy. He was from the Wild Bunch, let me tell you. We partied. We played poker together. He was fun to hang out with. Come on. Dangerous but fun. You guys ever have one of those dangerous friends? Excuse me. You love to hang out with them, but half the time you're scared because they pull crazy stunts. You never know what's going to happen. That was Uncle Randy. Larger than life. He should have been a pro wrestler. He should have been a pro wrestler, but he had a heart problem. That's what got him. He wasn't that old when he passed. He just passed probably 5 years ago. Seti says, hi, Queen Selection. Krishna Creations. Welcome, friend. Welcome. Everybody's got... Ooh, you don't want to see that. You know, I'm so used to turning exactly towards Toby. I turn towards him and don't know what's coming sometimes. Now we got to do some cleanup here. Clean up aisle 5. Are you done, Tobes? Are you done, little buddy? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. This is where it gets tricky because he don't want to wait for me to clean up after him. Wait. Of course, he went in the wood mulch, so we got to pick up wood too. Yucky. Wait. Oh, don't poke a hole in the bag. I need to find a trash can quick with this one. Toby, we got to find a trash can quick with this one. Let me put you in my pocket. Oh, is he going to go again? Are you kidding me? The joys of dog walking. Diddy is lurking. You never know. Hey, Dakota. This is Shelly Jeffs. Hello, Dakota. Welcome. Ding. That load. Yeah, carry a heavy load, man. Carry a heavy load. Good thing they got trash cans everywhere. Now we're coming up to my favorite area. This dog doesn't think it's a favorite area. I didn't bring in treats. Toby responds really good to treats. If you want him to do something and you don't have a treat, he may not do it. I have to put the fakie to him. But the 2 dogs ago, 2 dogs back, this was 2 dogs back's favorite area right here. This was 2 dog back's favorite lawn right here. We played frisbee here every morning. 2 dogs back was Charlie Boy. And we played frisbee here every day, every morning. Look at the geese, dog. We're gonna chase a whole bunch of geese into the water. You ready to do some geese wrangling? Every time I turn to look at Toby, he's peeing or pooping on something. My dog went in the sea a few times. I was definitely not trying to get that. Yeah, I hear that. Toby loves water. When he first started kayaking with him, he was scared. He fell in the water. He fell off the boat a couple times. You know how when dogs are scared, they're all spread out, all 4, looking all nervous, low, flat to the ground. He was like that, all sprawled out and falling into the water, scared as heck. Good thing, I kept a harness on him, a life jacket. But now he jumps off. Now you can't keep him on a kayak. He wants to go. What's today, Sunday? Next weekend, Toby. Today we're going to the movies. Next weekend we'll go kayak. I wish we could go during the week. That would be fun. When there's nobody else out there, or a few people. This is where we played every day, right in here too. Except this ground here is always super wet. It's a beautiful lawn. They got the sprinkler system. Come here. Let's leave the geese. You can just roll in their poop. Toby loves to roll in goose poop. It's his thing. When it's all dried, half sticky, like tar, he'll roll in it. It's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks since the last time he did it. His collar, his white collar. Hey. His white collar was all green on one side from the goose poop. Ugh, it's stinking. But he loves it. He loves that goose poop. I don't know why. Oh, Toby will go 5 times, and I bet you only get 4 bags. I actually brought 5 bags with me. I brought 5 bags. Pitch Vibe says, "Oh, that's terrible, Pitch Vibe, but we'll say hi." That was a sad story about your other dog. Well, all the other dogs and cats. The last cat that passed, he's buried under the. He's buried under the bird bath in the backyard. Last year. And the dogs, all the dogs before that cat, everybody gets cremated. Everybody gets cremated and paw printed and get the remains. My daughter one year had once had which dog was it? She had the cremation remains pressed into a stone or something like that. I don't remember, that she could hang around her neck. But it's always good to have that stuff. One of the curio cabinets in the dining room has got a couple of cremation remains in it, in little urns. But that's what we do. That's what we do, Tobes. Hopefully he buries me. I'd be crying. I'd be a little upset. Leave it. He always wants to eat that poop. Yuck. It must smell good to him. Huh? I've seen him eat cat poop. Yuck. It must smell good. It must be like candy. It must be like candy. I got my dog cremated recently. Is that what that says? Didn't feel right to leave him if we move. Yeah, because you rent. I gotcha. Yep. The paw prints are for me. The paw prints are important too. Where they make the paw prints in the clay. I just looked at that this last weekend on Friday, from the last cat, the cat that died. His name was Ike Kitty. He's got a couple videos in here. If you look at my earlier videos or shorts, there's a couple videos of him and Toby Dog walking around, or the three of us, the three dudes or something like that, three amigos walking down the sidewalk. The cat, me, and the dog. That cat was pretty cool. The cat we got now, he wants to go out. I found him outside yesterday. Toby pushed the back door open when we were outside one of the trips outside to look at the garden. And the back door was open. The cat was outside. I didn't realize it until I did. He's got a little harness and a leash, but he's not really used to it. I don't think he would walk. He'd be too slow. He'd be too slow to come walking with Toby. Put a saddle on Toby and put the cat on the saddle, right? That's what I did with Margot, says Barbara Mathers. Yep. The same Seti, my dog. That picture has ashes are beside the bed. There we go. Yeah, it's always hard to let them go. Right now I'm looking for a wife for Toby. Well, there's lots of them out there. It's just one I can afford. Right now I'm looking for money for a wife for Toby. There we go. That sounds better. Look at the bird poop out here. Yuck. Hey, leave it. Hey, come here. Come on. I gotta get out of this poop field. Can't take it. Our intention was to walk down here and get a Starbucks, but I don't think we're gonna. I think we're just gonna keep walking. What do you say, Tobe? What time is? Oh, it's too early for the other coffee shop to be open. Just get a black coffee. This is Veterans Memorial Bridge. On the other side of the river is Veterans Memorial Park. They call this park here, on the other side of the bridge, it's called Winona Park. Named after the Princess Winona. My mom told me that she was on this boat last Thursday. One of her granddaughters. One of the granddaughters took her on a cruise on this boat here. And on Thursday, I was crossing the river and I saw that boat. So I saw Mom on there, but I didn't know she was out there. Mom's 83. She'll be 83 in August. 83. Wow. We can all hope to make that, right? 83, and she still walks her dog every day. She pretty much does everything for herself, except she doesn't drive anymore. She doesn't drive anymore. She takes the bus, she takes the cab, the Uber, she calls me, she calls her grandkid. I'm the only kid left. But I live across the river. So she takes the bus a lot. Then they've got a bus for the old people that you just call them up. I think it's called Dial-A-Ride, in fact. You call them up and they come pick you up and take you where you got to go. It's put on by I believe, the Government Division on Aging. Like done, says Nature Lens Connect. Hey, Tandra. Welcome, welcome. You need a sugar mummy for Toby. Yeah, we need somebody that's got some money to burn. Not to burn, to invest in. You know that there was a 2-year-old. Like, I'd rather start with puppy, and I plan on getting puppy girls, but it'd be nice to have the 2 to 4-year-old right now girl that we could start making puppies on, so we could start selling puppies and making some money to buy the girl dogs. And at the dog show, you don't win money; you just win ribbons. For the dog show, it's like a beauty contest, so the breeders can see your dog, and they can see all the other dogs to see who they want to breed with. That's the nickname of the ring's they call it the breeder's ring. That's what little Toby here competes in. I want him to be Papa. He's 2 wins away from getting his championship. 2 more wins. Yeah, this is the boat here. I saw him out here in the middle of the river. Mom said it was a lot of fun. I'm surprised she went. 83 years old. I've seen big parties on this boat before. I've never been on it myself. But they'll have live bands and open bars. Party, party, party. Like done. Thank you so much, Nature Lens. Hello, Andrew King. Welcome, buddy. Starbucks isn't real coffee. Come to Sydney and I can show you good cafes. You know, Seti, I've been drinking coffee from cafes for decades, and I've never, ever been served a caramel macchiato as good as the Starbucks one. Maybe I don't know real coffee. Maybe that's it. Well, I take it back. I've been served coffee before that my buddy had. I was working in New Mexico, and I travel for works, depending on the assignments. And you just got what you have in your truck or your van or whatever you travel. You know what I mean? However you travel. There's people that travel with one suitcase. Me, I fill my entire vehicle and put the trailer step thing on there and fill that full of stuff when I go on the road. I got to have everything: bicycles, all kinds of computer equipment, clothes, 10 pair of shoes. New Zealand has better coffee, Seti. Ha ha! It's a bug boat. A bug boat. Is that what it's called? A bug boat? The slang term? We're going to sit here for a minute. Toby, you need a drink? You need a drink? I'll get you a drink. Oh, here comes a big white dog. Yeah, I never had a... Oh, anyway, that guy, he traveled with a Rancilio espresso machine. A Rancilio Sylvia espresso machine, and all the little attachments, the little cups and everything. And one day every time I'd go visit him, we were working in the same town, but we didn't stay in the same hotel. He worked for a different company. But when we'd hang out, when I'd go to visit him at his place, the first thing he did was he always made me a cup of coffee, an espresso. And he said, "Here, it's the best coffee you'll ever have in your life. And it was. He used a little, that Eagle brand sweetened condensed milk. He put a little bit of that on the bottom of the cup, and then he dropped a couple of shots of espresso in there and a little bit of milk, and it was so good. I always wanted one of those, but they're over $1,000 to buy all the parts is probably over 1,200. Years ago, they had a kit that had everything and a base with drawers in it, but they don't sell that kit like that anymore. But you get everything with it. Very true, Seti. Do you know MJ? MJ. I don't think we know MJ, do we, Tobe? Do we know an MJ? Oh, he's a beautiful dog. Yes, he is. Compost is a brand of coffee, and they won't let you buy their beans for your business unless they teach you properly. Awesome. Compost. There's a coffee shop. No, I'm not saying I don't like coffee shop coffee, because there's a coffee shop up here probably 3 blocks away from here that okay, leave it. That's good thing I turned around. Toby would have been rolling around on that. This poop here is about the right texture that he likes to roll in. Right there is what he likes. That nasty tar right there. There's a coffee shop around the corner here that for years and years I bought their coffee beans. They had a house blend. Back when coffee was $7 a pound, I was buying this stuff for $14 a pound. And they'd ship it to me wherever I was working. Their house blend coffee beans. I'd buy the beans and grind. I traveled with a Mr. Coffee and a coffee grinder. My buddy traveled with an espresso machine. I traveled with Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee, the best? You buy the cheapest Mr. Coffee machine they make. It doesn't come with an automatic shut-off. And you brew your coffee around 10 o'clock at night, and then you leave it on all night, and you drink it the next morning. Oh my goodness, the coffee caramelizes, and it's so tasty. I used to drink my coffee like that. It would burn down like a quarter of the liquid would be out of there by morning. And it was thick like tar. I used to drink that. That was good. I don't drink so much coffee anymore. We get the Starbucks every few days, maybe once a week. Toby gets a pup cup. He goes crazy for the pup cup. Compost is the brand. Okay, leave it. Don't be eating them. I believe they sold that sailboat. There was a big sailboat here that they used to take people on tours. It was called the Apple Door, or is called the Apple Door. And it is not here again. And the banner's gone. They sold it. I remember seeing it was for sale. Probably sold pretty quick. It was nice. One of them big 3-masted, I don't know, was it a schooner? Does that sound right? It was a big ship. And they used to dock it right here. Gone. Gone. Even the banner's gone. Yep. There's a cafe, and they used to have beans that tasted like a cherry. Unfortunately, they changed beans. There was a big giant hotel here back at the turn of the century. They built it late 1800s. I don't remember what year it burned down. I'm thinking early 70s. And now we got a park here. And they named the park after the hotel. The hotel was the Winona Hotel, named after the princess. And they had a big tile portrait of the princess on the floor when you walked in the front of it in the lobby of the hotel. And after it burned down, they left it, and they left it here in the park, and you could come and see it. Now it's in a museum. They took it out. They took it out and put it in the county museum downtown. Toby Dog, we didn't get you a drink yet, did we? I think you're good. Are you ready? You ready for a drink? You ready for a drink? We'll go right over here, get out of the middle of this. Grab a seat. Here, come here. Oh, yummy, yummy. About to get some drink. About to get your drink on. Here we go. Hold on. Here you go. Here you go. Did you get enough? Did you get enough? He can drink right out of the bottle. Did you see that? Hold on, Tobe. Hold on, buddy. This old guy's got to try to get up. Ah. Oh, can't get up. There we go. Helen, I've been loving those workout videos. I've been loving those workout videos. Come here, Tobes. Let me get this right. Let me get this right. Let me get this right. There we go. Back when I was younger, we used to ride our bikes down here and go jumping up and down off this hill. Go flying through the air for a couple of feet. Come on, we'll go to the extreme north end of town. And then we'll head towards the house. Maybe we'll stop and get us a Starbucks. Okay, come on. Switch me sides. There we go. They got all kinds of shops here. This is an old part of town. This is the part of town that was called Hell's Half Mile. From that end of Water Street up to that end, the bridge, where the bridge is at. There was back in the 1800s. This was full of bars, brothels, and gambling houses. This street here, and it was for the rooming houses. It was for the lumberjacks. The lumberjacks came in on payday. They came down here and whooped it up here in beautiful Bay City, doing their thing. Here's the coffee shop I used to get my beans from here. Really excellent people, really excellent. The house coffee is what you want. The house coffee is what you want. It's unbelievable. You think you're drinking chocolate. Dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee-dee. Hey, USA, look at that. This must be the USA store, huh? Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday, America. That's a cool building there. When it was the Jennison Hardware building. And when it stopped, when they moved there was the, what do you call it, the headquarters, the world headquarters. And when they moved out of there, the investors, they built 2 more floors and converted it into big condos. Nice. These are all condos down through here too. These are nice. There's townhouses. A nice row. We could never afford to live there, Tobe. But who would want? I wouldn't mind living downtown. But if I lived downtown, I'd want to live like an apartment here on the corner of the building, on the corner of the street, so you could see all different ways. You know what I mean? That would be kind of fun. I've rented, like I said, I work all over the country. I travel for work, and when I'm not working from home, of course, I've rented places like that before, where it's right over a restaurant or a hotel, or what do you call it, a restaurant or a bar downtown. You rent one of the rooms upstairs, and you get to see what's going on, watch the nightlife. It's pretty cool. This used to be a super busy area of town. Not so much anymore as the rest of the downtown area. There was a bridge here that fell. This was the second bridge in town. The 3rd Street Bridge, just fell one day. Well, fell one night, 1976 in June, early June. Come on. But we go over there a lot. We're not today. That's been there since 1904, the Nut House. They sell candy, they make candy too. The Nut House, nuts since 1904. I can remember getting stuff there when I was a kid. One time, we came down to watch the canoe races. They were having, not canoe, the sculls, what do they call it? The boating, the college when they're doing the rowing. The name of the boat's called Sculls. Look, this is an antique store. We were downtown. I must have been about 6 or 7 years old. And we were down here watching the boat races. It was like fall. And we had come down to the Nut House. We had come down to the Nut House and got candy. It was my sister, my mother, and myself. We came down and got some candy, and we were down at the park where we were sitting, probably right about where we were sitting. And look, there's a car in the antique store. Look at the old car. Can you see it? Maybe not, because of the reflection. Look at that. There's an antique car in the store. And I ate my candy, whatever, and Mom had gotten this I think it was a pecan nut roll. I believe that's what it was, and it had some kind of, I don't know, nuts crushed up, rolled in a log with nougat or whatever. But anyway, whatever was in that nougat didn't agree with me, because I ate a piece of that, and I told my Mom, I'm sick. I'm feeling sick. I'm gonna puke. And she says, come on, we'll run up here. We'll go to the bathroom at the hot dog place. It was called Karis Red Lion. Come on, Papa. So we come running up here. We'll walk past it. It's up here in about 3 blocks, the restaurant where it used to be. We run in there, and it was packed full. You can't go in there. You can't go in there. It was packed full of people. I took 2 steps in the doorway and puked all over the floor. Oh, my God, it was terrible. It just erupted. Never even got close to the bathroom. And I puked and puked. And the restaurant manager come running over, just livid. He was so mad, screaming at my mom. Lunchtime with the lunchtime packed restaurant, and there I am puking on the floor. Walk in the door and puke. Is that too much or what? You need to go in there and ask what's new. I love peanut brittle. Oh, peanut brittle's good. Nothing's open here right now. It is 7:59 a.m. The only thing open is McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Starbucks. Everything else downtown here is closed. There might be a restaurant up here open. I think there is. I think there's a restaurant up here open ahead of us. Yeah, 2 steps in the door. Give me 2 steps, mister. Give me 2 steps through that door. Yeah, And, oh, it was terrible. My mom My mom argued with the manager, and she dragged me into the bathroom, even though the manager was telling us we had to leave. You got to get out of here. My poor sister, they brought a mop and a bucket over and told her to clean it up because mom and I were in the bathroom. My sister must have been about, if I was 7, she was 11, 10, 11 years old. They brought her the mop and the bucket. Oh, it was a great little restaurant. It was like a delicatessen, one of those cafeteria, where you go down the line with you get your tray, and you go down the line and you pick out what you want. They got it sitting on plates, or you tell them what you want and they cook it and they bring it right to you. But you went through the line. It was a cafeteria style, like Luby's. And then years later, decades later, back in the early 2000s, there was a restaurant that was in the far south end of town, and it moved to this place. It moved up to this place here, that we're at the restaurant where I got sick, and it was the greatest breakfast restaurant ever. What was it called? Rudy J's. Rudy J's. They were the best. I went to their restaurant in 3 different locations, three different locations, and their food was always the best. They moved 3 times, and then they went out of business. The husband died. The wife could cook, but she couldn't take care of the books or something, was the story she told. I had a friend that tried to help out. He tried to buy into it, but then when he found out, after he talked to her, he changed his mind. Come on. It was that restaurant right there on the corner. I don't know what it is now. I have no idea. We don't come downtown, Toby, other than to walk. Cigar lounge. I wonder if they let them smoke their reefer in there. I don't come downtown much except to get a Starbucks, an occasional Taco Bell, or go to the bank. Most of the time it's other than downtown. Parking's a bear. Parking's terrible. They build all these fancy corners and they take away parking spots. They put all the chairs and tables out in the street like that. That's half a dozen or 8 or 10 parking spots right there gone. And it's all over town like that. There's nowhere to park. And then it's just a bunch of drunks anyway. Our town's famous for the alcohol consumption. There's bars. Every other store down here is a bar. You poor bugger. I love peanut brittle. What's up, Tobe? What'd you eat? I actually had a salad yesterday, even though we've got the multi-state sickness outbreak going on. And they believe it's from lettuce, but they named the source of the lettuce and the restaurants that use the lettuce. So I think I was safe at the steakhouse. The waitress said they cut the lettuce up every day. They don't buy the pre-bagged stuff. We had a great birthday dinner last night. It was so good. The 20-ounce bone-in rib steak. All the sides. I'll be eating that rib steak for meals, for the next couple of meals too. I brought like 2/3 of it home. 20 ounces of meat, that's a lot. Now don't get me wrong, I can remember back in the day when I'd eat that whole thing. 15 years ago, I'd ate that whole thing. 10 years ago, maybe. Oh no, look, somebody done wrecked a tree downtown. They gotta break this out. They gotta take all this stuff out of here. This is that pebble stuff that they mix with, you mix it with some kind of glue to put in there. They got to break all this out, dig it all up, put a new tree in there. I don't think a Band-Aid's going to do it, or duct tape. That's too bad. Drunks. There's a bar right here, big bar. This place fills up at all. It'll fill up all these parking lots. People drunk. There's another, that's a bar, that's a bar. There's 2 bars on that block. There's 2 bars right there on that block. Bunch of drunks, right? Titlepro Surviving Man series. What's going on? What's going on? I spent most of the day in high school once in the sick bay. Had to walk home by myself. Yeah, that's no fun. What's going on, Surviving Man series? We're out in our jungle here. The urban jungle. This building here is, they built this in the 80s. It is a observatory. They put on all kinds of events too. All kinds of shows about the stars and the moon and planets and all that, galaxy. Well, Toby, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go by the Starbucks? I don't think so, it's too busy. Let's cross over here. We'll go through the neighborhoods. Hey, we got our first hour in today. Now we'll walk. We had enough fun on the river walk. We'll take a walk through the neighborhood. The town's really old. I believe it's 1850s. But here's a look. Here's a look downtown. Look at the old buildings. These all used to have siding on them. They just, within the last couple of years, they took the siding off. They're doing a revitalization down here. All these buildings had siding on them, and they come through. They took all the sidings off and exposed the old building facades. Nice brickwork. Look at that. Pretty nice. Looks like an old western town, huh? City Hall in the distance with the tower. Oh, I spent many a day down here when I was a little kid, like in this spot. There was a bus stop right here, an enclosed bus stop. It was glass, like plexiglass. And this is where we would come and catch the bus, ride all over town. I can remember 1975 standing right here. Way back when we used to have festivals downtown here, Carnival. And then they had, it was called sidewalk sales days. And all the stores up and down, they'd bring tables out in their racks, and they'd sell everything. That was a big sales weekend or week of the year. And the sidewalks would be full of clothes and whatever the stores had for sale, luggage, clothes, shoes, whatever. And in the street there'd be the carnival and the vendors. There'd be big rides like the Hammer and Ferris wheels. It wasn't like little kiddie rides or nothing. It was the real deal carnival back in the 70s, all that big dangerous stuff. Anyhow, this was a shoe store back in the day. They billed themselves as the world's largest for a while. I don't know. But one of those sidewalk sales, I worked with the bag in the shoes for the store. They just give you pennies, you know what I mean? I needed carnival money. But yeah, I stood right here at the end of the table, right by the door. They'd ring up the sales and I'd bag it up. Isn't that something? Back in the day. Those are the same planters they had back then. So those planters got to be over 50 years old. Yep, it was right there where those benches are. And there was a telephone booth with there too. Bus stop and telephone booth. Those were the days, let me tell you. We used to have a lot of fun downtown here. There was a lot of financial, like stock market places, financial places, and we'd come downtown and we'd rummage through the trash, and we'd get boxes and boxes of ticker tape and shredded paper, not shredded, but that was cut up into little pieces. What do they call that? Confetti. We'd get all kinds of ticker tape and confetti, and we'd haul it home, and we'd have our own ticker tape parades and confetti. The block would be covered in ticker tape and confetti. All the parents would be pissed. All the parents are pissed. But we had so much fun. It was fun being a kid back in the 70s. Consumption Carnival. The good old days. Yes, yes, indeed. Hey, Ghana. Hey, Ghana, what's going on? What is going on? Yeah, we used to walk these alleys. See if you can see down here. When we were kids, we'd walk through these alleys and pick through the garbage, the business's garbage, and get all that stuff out. The alleys go on forever. Look at that. Oh. Yep, those were the days. This is the back side of the newest library. I actually worked on this back when I was a construction worker. This is the newest library. Big money. Big money. I don't know how much it cost to build, but I imagine it was a fortune. It was all union labor. I was a union guy back in the day. Stella, Persians, what's going on? Good morning to you. Shelley says it looks to be a lovely town. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It's a good place to live if you don't have a lot of money. But there's a lot of people here with a lot of money. But if you're on the opposite end, and we pay the highest taxes in the state as far as property taxes go. We don't have a city income tax. The next city south of us has a city income tax. See, if you live here and work there, you got to pay the tax just for working there. But the property taxes are sky high, and the city services are lacking. The money, come on. Oh, we got to wait now. If we were 2 seconds sooner, we could have made it. The streets are full of potholes. That's mainly what people complain about. That's my main complaint, is the potholes. They're rough on your vehicle. But they pick up the trash every week. And that's about all you can expect, right? They quit plowing the roads, but they didn't lower the taxes. Now we're lucky if we see the snowplow 3 or 4 days after the biggest storms of the year. When I was a kid, one of my close friends lived right up here on the other side of this parking lot. His dad owned the mortuary here, the funeral home. Every once in a while, I'd get to ride in the dad would come to pick him up from school every day in one of the funeral home vehicles, and every once in a while, I'd get to ride in the back. I'd ride in the back of one of them stretch limousines. I think I think one of these kids still works here. They sold it. It was sold, but to the big chains. I think the big funeral chains own everything now. There's probably not very many, but I think the daughter. There was two kids that I remember. I think the daughter works here. If I remember right, the house is gone. They lived right there, but this is old stomping grounds. We lived in a couple apartments up the road here for years and years. This is the old library, the back side of it. It's a banking type building now. But this was 1920s, 19 teens from the Carnegie. The money was donated to buy the books by the Carnegies from New York, Carnegie Mellon, whatever that is. Now it's a bank. They probably got a pretty penny for it. It was a beautiful building. I worked here when I was a teenager as a page, putting books away, cleaning, that kind of stuff. I wasn't punching cards or nothing. I was putting the books back on the shelves. Titlepro the librarian, right? Hey, Alice English Club. Thanks, Helen. I didn't see. Page, that's what it was called. Yes, library page. I did that for a while. I tried to get in with the county. I tried to get hired by the county when I first hit 18, when I first got out of high school. And I tried to get a job with the county. I tried to get a job with the city for years. Tried to get a job with the state. Could not. No government would hire me. I was offered a job though with county government, but it was a political job for one of the politicians. And you know what happens when the politician gets voted out? You go too. One of those type of situations. Probably should have did it. Probably should have. Yeah, these are old stomping grounds here. We played on all these sidewalks. We're talking 1970, 71 to 79. Through that decade, through the 70s. My grandma lived up here. And we were always coming to visit. And when the parents split up, we came and got apartments next to grandma. Moms and daughters, right? Daughters always cling to mothers, so we were always coming here. Look, somebody's collecting sap for syrup. Someone's gonna make syrup. Tapping the trees. That's pretty cool. I know a lady on the side of the state that does that. They got big farmland. They got big family farmland, and they make maple syrup. But when we were little kids, so back to when we were little kids during the 70s, my older sister, she had a friend that lived right here. This is a famous, look at that. It's even got a plaque, 1879. But her best friend lived here. And we lived in this apartment right here in this yellow apartments. And then at one time we lived the next house over in the apartment upstairs. Those were the days. Come on, little buddy. We played on all these little sidewalks. We'd play catch with the baseball. And you guys know a game called Hot Box, where you got two baseball bases and just the runner between them and the two base, and you throw the ball back and forth, and the runner's got to try to steal the base. Yeah, we played all. There was big tall maple trees that back then. Now there's no trees, but we lived upstairs and downstairs at different times of that apartment building. We lived upstairs there for years. Grandma lived there for decades in a base or downstairs apartment. Decades, like since the 50s, from the 50s to the 70s, late 70s. She moved into one of the senior high rises in the early 80s. House for sale. They got a koi pond here. Check this out. Let's see if the fish are out. They were. I talked to this lady one time. She said they were moving. So I don't know if they've moved and took their fish yet, or they're waiting to sell their house. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on, Toby. Let's see if the fish are here. Nope, the fish are not in there. Oh, yeah, they are. There's one. They're swimming and they're swimming upside down. No, they're upside right side up. See them? Can you see them? Oh, there's another one. Oh, they're all over now. It's just looking kind of murky in there. That fish probably like it, though. Those homes are stunning. Yeah, these are big, big. Some of them are kept. Come on out of there. Some of them are kept up really nice. We're going to do, I was just talking yesterday about doing a walk. Down this the next street north, where all the mansions are. What time is it? 8:20. We've been walking quite a ways already. These are covered in siding now, but back in the day, these are all wood-sided houses with fancy woodwork. Up you can see a little bit of, oh no, that's siding too. But like up there would be all kinds of fancy woodwork up in here, like wood shingles, different everything painted different, all kinds of crazy paint jobs. Everything now is covered in siding, because the siding you don't have to do anything to. There'll be a couple houses down here that still have the original wood siding. You'll see. We'll walk down this way a little bit. Come on. Come on, look at the porch railing here. That's how stuff would have been painted in the 1800s, early 1900s here. The different colors on the porch railing. Da-dum. One time we moved, we moved from those apartments back there that we just walked past, and we didn't have a car, Mom's car. Mom didn't have a car, and so I had to carry everything. My sister was gone. She had moved out, and I carried everything back to this new apartment up here. It's like a mile, 3/4 of a mile. Boxes, chairs. We got lucky. There was someone with a truck that took the couches and the bed springs, but I had to carry everything else. Those were the days. I don't see any fancy houses here. Painted up. Everything's got siding on them. Everything got covered with siding in the 50s and 60s because nobody wants to deal with sanding and painting. But there's some biggies. We'll go a few more blocks before we head towards the house. We got water with us, so we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Alice English Club. Go back to the red car TP. Hey, Wamoyo, that's a Corvette. Did you see that? Obviously. You know, people park them sports cars in their yards. They don't put them in, and they let them rot, Wamoyo. That car's probably been parked there for 10 years. That car's probably been parked there for 10 years. There's a Corvette a couple blocks away from my house that you know it's been parked there forever because the weeds are taller than the car. They cut the grass up to the side of the car, but there's still the tall weeds right next to the car. Here's a cool house. And then we'll go one more block, and then we'll go walk on the main street. We'll see a couple blocks of that stuff. I've always liked this house here in the corner. It looks like a cottage. It used to have this crazy roof on it. Looks like it still does. Look at these flowers, pretty cool. This is what we're gonna do, right, Toby? This is what we're gonna do alongside our fence when we get it up. Hopefully we get our new fence by the end of the summer. That's a cool house. Here now we're getting to some nicer ones. You can see the scallop up there at the top. Back in the day, that would all those would have been painted different colors. You see the little scallops? Back in the day, those would have been painted different colors. We'll see some fancy ones. Yeah, I'm not bullshitting you, Helen. People will park their cars and they'll just sit there and rot. Hey, someone's garden. Look at the garden. That's different. Well, that way you don't have to bend over, right? Garden on the table. We are far from home. Come on, Toby. We are far from home. I hope my knees hold up. Haha. We'll go a couple blocks on the main drag, and then we'll head towards the house. But I'll show you a couple of these mansions down here. I had a friend that lived in this red brick house up here where we're about to get to. When I was in high school, we played basketball together all the time. He grew up right here. I don't think the family's still here anymore. That was years ago, decades. Oh, cool old fence. Hold on, Toby. Hold on a minute. I got a rock in my shoe. There we go. There we go. That's what we need, is a covered carport right on the side of the house. You like the raised bed gardens? I've got a raised bed garden, or raised bed box, that nothing ever grows in it. I'm gonna have to change the soil. I must have got the wrong soil. Look at, here we go. We can't turn this, and I don't think I'm zoomed in at all. Look at that. Big mansions. That one's getting worked on. Looks like new porch. That one's empty. But you can see. Come here, Toby. You can see the fancy work on there. Look at the fancy work on the sides of the. Just the shingles alone. Those shingles are called Grand Manor. Just the shingles alone we couldn't afford. I like this fence. This fence is probably 1800s. Oh, they got stained glass windows. You see the stained glass windows, fam? Big porch. Let's look across the street. Let's see if we can see that mansion there. The trees are hiding that one quite a bit. Shelly Jeff says it's 12:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna head for bed. Thanks for coming by, Shelly. I sure appreciate you. Hey, Deno, welcome. I don't know what they call them. I'm no architect, but yeah, this is all 1800s, Victorian era. The next street north has got a bunch of homes on it like these too. The street this way, not so many. They're big homes, but they're not big fancy ones like these. Most of these you can't even see from the trees. We'll cross the street and look at these couple houses, and then we'll head back towards the house. But we'll go ahead and cross the street. There's one probably half mile up that they've got a big greenhouse attached to it. What is it called? An arboretum? Arboretum? What's it called? Pretty cool. This used to be the county library, and they sold it. They moved the library and sold the building. Whoever bought that building got the steal of the decade. Come on, Tobes. This is a cool house. When I was in high school, one of the girls in the class ahead of me lived here. If you don't mind asking, what's the location? My city. Oh, we're in Detroit, 100 miles north of Detroit, in Michigan, USA. Look at that. Can you imagine having to clean the windows? You got a lot of windows to clean. Lots of vacuuming. Look at that place. That would be nice to live there, huh? Party on the porch. So every year the biggest party of the year is the St. Patrick's Day. Do we have big parades up and down this road here? This is the parade route. And just about every house along the way here has a party that day. There'll be all kinds of people hanging out on the porches, keg parties, you know. How about that one? So the people that build these big houses, they were lumber barons, shipbuilders, the big store owners. That's who built all these mansions, and everyone's got a history. There's a lot of them missing. There's a lot of them that are gone. But I guess the best ones got preserved, right? This was called the Turner House, 1889. Joseph Turner of the Turner Lumber Company. Here we go. Here's a good one. Joseph Turner of the Turner Lumber Company commissioned Arthur Dillon Prosser Clark to design the house, but it was the wife's influence that resulted in one of Michigan's finest examples of Queen Anne architecture. Queen Anne says the Turners lived here in the 1889, and it says in 1909 the house was sold to the Hawleys, and in 1927 the Meisels, and they converted the library and music rooms on the to a first floor kitchen and dining room. So the dining room must have been, it said, a lower level kitchen and dining room reflect her southern style. Oh, so the basement floor. The basement isn't a true basement, it's a high basement. Let's see. Hold on, Toby. Give me a second. It like the New York basement apartment, where it's high. Yeah, you can see. Look, see how high the door is. So the ceiling of the basement is about my shoulder height. That's so cool. That is so cool. Huh? Anybody in the market? Come make them an offer. Those shingles there are like $500 a square. I used to do shingle work. Amazing. So the house, you remember me telling the story about we moved and I had to carry all the boxes and the chairs and everything from one house to the other. That was on, the house we moved to is on this block here. Back in the day, it's so funny, so many people sitting on their porch asking, "Are you moving?" It was so obvious. Yeah, there's a kid out there making 30 trips a day, carrying boxes. They cut all the big trees down. Here's a nice one. Nice house there. They're getting a new porch. Hold on, Tobes. I've had dreams where I'm in Detroit. I've got a friend from there who passed a year ago. Oh, wow. Wonder how much one. That one on the corner that we were just looking at that had the tall basement ceilings, I'm gonna guess that that's probably, it's all fixed up and all that. That's probably $1 million house. These here, 2.25, 200. This was, I lived right here in that house there for a couple of years. And then we moved again. A house like this on the corner, these are probably 250s, 300s, 3.25s. This here in the corner, this has got the high basement too. I had a friend that lived here. There's actually there was offices in the basement. There was a doctor that had an office in there. They used to have a nice fence here too, wrought iron. There's another nice one. If you go back into the neighborhoods this way, the houses are nice, but they're not as big. They're half as big. So the factory, the lumber baron owned that one. The lumber baron owned the one on the next street over. The manager owned this one, and the workers lived back there, right? In the little houses. That's the way I see it. These are at least 250s here, 250,000s at the least, probably 3.25, somewhere around there. Depends on how nice they are inside, if they still have the woodwork and all that. If the woodwork's gone, it takes a lot of the value out. All these houses would have oak everything. Oak everything inside. Now this is wood. See how they're gonna have to come through? You can see where the paint's peeling already. Every few years you gotta come through and paint with the wood. Where the other ones, the ones we saw earlier that I said they were already sided. This one's got siding also. Let me see. Yeah, that's siding, but they use multicolor siding. I like the paint job on the front porch. Come on, little Toby. If we go further east, they get even nicer on this street. However, we still got to get home. If we go any further east, we'll be calling for an Uber. We'll be calling for the Uber. So we left the house this morning at about 6:30. And I think we started streaming around 10 to 7. It's already 8:30. We've got over an hour and a half on the stream. We're doing pretty good this morning, Tobe, for our Sunday morning walk. You couldn't afford to put a fence in like that today. Those fences are from decades ago. You couldn't afford to put one of them iron fences in today. Come on, little Toby. Come on, little Toby. Come on, we're gonna go get our breakfast. The city used to be covered in not covered, but there oak trees, oak and maple. There was maple trees everywhere, and elms, giant elm trees, all over. We were. They had a sign when you came into town. It said "Tree City, USA" or something like that. We were one of those designated as a tree city. There were so many. And then the Dutch elm disease came through and wiped out all the great big ones. Like all these streets had big elm trees. And now we got all these little trees that they planted. Good thing they planted them though. Come on. My friend used to be in a gang back in the day. Huh? Nicky Nick. Yeah, we remember Nicky Nick. You get your blue jacket today. Nicky Nick. What's going on, Nicky Nick? We'll make one more detour, and then we got a beeline straight for the house. Let's see. There's some really nice houses to the left. Do we got it in us, Toby? Do we got it in us to go? Do we got it in us to take a left here to show the peoples, or do we save it for another day? Come on, let's go. We got some folks here probably want to say hi, see the nice buildings, nice homes. One of my teachers from high school lives here. Here's some really nice ones. This is 2 blocks of really nice houses. And the reason this neighborhood stayed so nice is there's a school across the street. Usually the neighborhoods near schools and across from parks are pretty decent. Okay, come on. Okay, come on. That's a slate roof there. That's a slate tile roof. Nice. Oh, and it's for sale. It's empty. Look at that. Helen? And look, there's an elementary school right across the street for the kids. Look at that one. For sale. Now, when I was a teenager, there was a young lady I used to chase around here somewhere. She lived in one of these houses. When I was a teenager, there was a teenage girl that lived in one of these houses. I can't remember which one. But when I was a teenager, we actually played here in this parking lot. All that playground equipment, there was none of that was here. We would come and play baseball up against the building, a game called Strikeout, where you draw a square on the building. Bad kids. We'd use chalk and draw a square on the building with an X in it, in the middle of it, and that was home plate. And we'd throw a rubber ball or a tennis ball. And that way you could play with just 2 or 3 people, a pitcher, a batter, and someone in the outfield. It was called Strikeout. And you just took turns pitching to each other. But yeah, we used to play up against the walls of there. And then we'd play football over here in that wide open field. Come on, Tobis. What do you think of these houses? What was her name, says Wamoyo. I cannot say. I want to visit USA soon. Hope I can, says Alice. Well, aren't you from here? Aren't you from here, Al? Look at that. Look at the garden. We're going to step on these people's front yard here. Look at the garden. Look at that. Isn't it a gorgeous yard?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool?
Still some work.
It's beautiful.
Coming.
Look at all this work he's putting in. All this landscaping. Look at that. That's crazy. Very cool work. He's got a lot going on here. Nice house. Nice house. And then the garage. Look at that 3-car garage. That's an old storage type garage. It must have been one of the lumber people must have owned this. That's a cool garage. Very cool. Now, the house that my grandma lived in back here that we walked past, it had a garage like that in the back. Here's another nice one. Uh-oh, we're at 5%, fam. I just looked. TP can't remember what house. You were really focused on her. I don't want to point to the house. What if she's watching? I don't want to point to the house. We're at the 5%. We're at 4%, fam. We got to say goodbye. Sorry, I didn't get the phone charged up enough. And then I was going to bring my battery with me, but I couldn't find the cord that goes from the battery to the phone because I can't just use the regular. I can't use the iPhone charging cord. It's got the wrong end on it to go into the battery pack. What do they call that? The little battery. Anyhow, I'm gonna say goodbye real quick before and abruptly before we run out of power. We're at 4. Good thing I looked. You guys would have just been gone. Yes, goodbye. Sorry. We've been walking for a while. Thanks everybody for coming to watch. Thanks for hanging out with us on this nice Sunday morning. I'm sweating, but it's okay. It's still a beautiful morning. It's not too hot. Sorry I messed up the battery, but maybe next Sunday we go longer. Anyhow, you guys got to see a little bit of our town, and we got to hang out. I sure appreciate y'all. I appreciate your time. Come on. I appreciate the thumbs up also. I have a good time walking Toby every day, and we walk. But it's always that much better walking with a few friends, huh? Someone to hang out with. Thanks for the walk, says Seti. Sure thing, every day. I'm here, I am surprised, says Anastasia. Great day to remember to behave. Yes, ma'am. So now we're behind the mansions. These houses are a little more reasonable. Anyhow, y'all behave. Y'all be cool. Peace out. As always, catch us Monday through Friday, and we surprise on the weekends when we show up. We're gonna leave it when it's a 2. That way we got enough to get home in case we gotta call the cab. Call for a ride home, Tobe. I think we're still over a mile. We still got a mile to go. Come here, say goodbye, Tobes. Come on. It's all done. We're all done, buddy.